Discuss margin agreements and the components of them. So in order to open a margin account, which means that you can lose more than what you put in because you're using leverage, which means you're using borrowed money, other people's money, so you can lose more than what you gained. That number is going to be set by the Federal Reserve, so you can borrow up to 50% currently. That number has not changed in a long time, I believe since the 70s. Then FINRA sets certain requirements, like, for example, you need to have 25% at least in equity in a long market account and 30% in equity in a short market account, and that's set by FINRA. Also, you need to have at least $2,000 to use margin. That's also set by FINRA, right? Now, in order to open a margin agreement, there's three components to it. There's the hypothecation agreement, there's the credit agreement, and then there's the loan consent form. So the hypothecation and the credit agreement are the two required portions. Loan consent is not required. Although a lot of private broker-dealers may require that, but that's different. That's not a legal requirement. So credit agreement's going to give you the terms of the loan, which makes sense. Anytime you're borrowing money, like what's the margin interest, all that kind of stuff, right? Number two, hypothecation agreement. So hypothecation means you're pledging your securities as collateral for the loan, right? You're pledging your securities as collateral for the loan, kind of like a mortgage, kind of like a car note, etc., right? So what happens is broker-dealers don't just have money sitting around like a bank does. So now they'll take your securities and rehypothecate them at 140% of the debit, which is the amount you borrowed to get more money for more margin accounts, right? So that's required. The last component is the loan consent form, which is not required. The loan consent form allows basically the broker-dealer to lend out your securities for other people who want to go short. So if people want to short, they have to borrow other people's securities, sell them, and buy them back ideally at a lower price. So they need to have securities on hand that are able to be sold, right? Borrowed by others. So those are the three forms. The margin agreement has the loan consent not required, hypothecation required, credit agreement required. So hope this helps. Please like and subscribe and listen for more. Thanks.